So this is Pooja Sri from Tamil College. I am in the Department of Commerce General. So I am going to teach you what is value education, how we are going to handle the value education paper. So now we'll see what is an overview of value education unit 1. So first one we'll go with the introduction. So firstly we will be having a moral and the ethics that we have to follow in an organization and any place, even in a life. So that is what a value which is being added in everyone's life. So firstly, we will be seeing the value education refers to the teaching moral, ethical and social values. So teaching moral is nothing but we have to be very ethical enough to handle the people's situation. So teaching moral and as well as the ethics that everyone have to follow in their own life. So second point would be help in developing character, personality and responsible citizenship. So each individual have to be responsible in this world. So they have to follow some moral and some ethical values in their particular life. So thirdly, essential for holistic development. Holistic development is nothing but each individual action that we are going to have in our own life has to be very particular and that should not hurt any people in a particular world. So we'll move on to the next slide. Now we'll see what is value. What do you mean by value? You have to question yourself. What do you think what is value is? So now my opinion would be shown here. So what is a value? Value or the principle or the standard of behavior. So guide individual in making decisions. So it is being a standard. You have to set some standard for your life. So you have to be like this, you have to like that. So you should not break your own rules that you have put in for yourself. So what are the major characteristics that every person should have ethical way in their own life is one is honesty. Being honesty is very important thing. If you are going to steal something also, if you are not feeling very comfortable, you have to give that. So it is the honesty that you are going to always have that honesty that will give you a very good great way to achieve more things. Second one is integrity. So how much integrity you are going to possess in your own life that will lift you up in the future. So third one is respect. Every people who are there in the world has to be respectful to every human being. Should not hurt others, should not blame more things to the particular persons. So everything has to be have with a respectful manner. So give respect, take respect. So fourth one, responsibility. If any people is going to be met with an accident, it is our responsibility to take some in charge, to take that particular responsibility to make them to admit in the hospitals. So it is a basic responsibility as a citizen, as a society is needed with those people who is having some responsibility towards themselves. So these are the four categories that are some of the examples which is being given for the value. So I repeat, the values are the standards and the behavior that we are going to possess. That is going to give you a decision where you are going to move, either in the positive way or in a negative way. That has to be mainly focused by yourself, your characteristics. So you are going to have the particular honesty, integrity, responsibility and respect. So the four key categories which is being the example for the values. Next we'll move on to the objectives of a value education. What is the main category? Why the Madras University has given you a particular value education subject? So you all will be having a value, you will all be having every subject in your particular syllabus, but why we are adding this value education in our particular Madras University syllabus is where the objectives plays a very important role. So develop a moral awareness. So moral awareness is nothing but you are going to have some ethics by yourself, but still you will be sharing with your friends and you must have some consciousness to help others. So every individual action should have some moral as well as the ethics. And second thing, promote ethical thinking. So if something is going to happen for your friend or for yourself, you have to take stand to be ethical. So you are not supposed to hide something to the particular person who is longing for the mistake which has been happened in that particular place. So you have to take some action to just close the problem by thinking of ethical way. And then thirdly, we'll be having a build social responsibility. As I told earlier with the example of accident, every individual is nowadays are going and taking selfies with that particular bodies or whatever. So you have to take some responsibility as an young citizen, or as well as you need to have some responsibility over some human values to that particular criteria or the situation. And the next one is encourage peace and harmony. So many places, even now, we are hearing more problems and more societal issues, but we are not taking a step forward. Even now we are handling some wars in the Iran and Israel and something like that. But either any way, it is going to affect yourself. So now the cylinder rates are getting high, and every steel and every rates are getting high. It's not only rate dependency, but also you will have to see some people are dying over there. So we have to have some social and moral values for that particular thinking. So some other country, some war is going on, we are not supposed to think like that. So we have to be very moral, we have to be very ethical enough to handle some situation or as a particular societal and responsible person. And then fourth one is develop leadership quality. So we have to develop ourselves a leadership quality. Like it starts from the classroom itself. If a person is going to be a leader, he will be handling all the other particular students who is there in that particular class. So but still, the leadership is being built with ourselves. Even the person who is going to sit in the last row will have some their own value, their own leadership quality. So it is not that only the leaders will be having the leadership quality. Every individual must have their own leadership quality to just lead their lives. As a family, a higher position, you need to take some responsibility and respect towards your life. And next thing, types of values. So what are the types? We are hearing about what is value education, what is the meaning, why we are setting up these objectives, everything we have seen. But still, now we are going to what are the types of values. So first one is personal value, which you are going to have yourself. Like for example, discipline and honesty. Many of the times we are saying that you have to be punctual enough to the particular organization, but we are lagging over it. So a punctuality creates some discipline. So that is why they are mentioned the first thing as personal values. And second one is social values. As I said earlier, social values is in cooperation and respect you are going to show to the others as well as yourself. You have to have some self-respect towards yourself. And then third one is moral values. You have to be true, you have to be loyal, you have to be justice enough to handle some situations in your life. So that is what I explained in the third one. And fourth one, spiritual values, a peace and compassion. Some would be going to the church, some would be going for the temple, some would be going for the mosque. So it is not that only we have to follow this religion or that religion. Everything that is depends upon the mind, mentality. That is the fourth one, spiritual values. So wherever you get peace, you can go over there and you can get the peace. It is not about that only the temple are giving, or it's not about that only the church are giving or the mosque is giving. So it is about the inner belief that you are having. And then fifth one, cultural values. All the tradition is going to have, even the religious problems are being nowadays also there, but still we are eradicating from that particular previous generations. So that is the cultural value. Every values has to be think and twice we have to recheck whether we are following these kind of values as a types. So next thing, we are going to see what are the core human values that we have to possess. First one, truth, Satya. Satya is a very popular name which is being given by the Gandhiji. Mahatma Gandhiji has given you, we have to be very non-violence. You are not to should not take some particular violence in your particular life. So we have to be very non-violence. And the second one is ahimsa. This is also the quote which is being given by the Mahatma Gandhiji. So avoiding harm. You are not supposed to harm someone, some people who is going to be there, and even if they are going to harm, you have to be polite, you have to be respectful. Then automatically the opposite reactions may change. And then third one, care and compassion towards our mother, family, whatsoever it might be. We have to show some concern towards and some care and compassion towards your family. So that is what the third point. And peace. And inner calm which you are going to have, it is always there for yourself. So if you are going to sit in a room and you are thinking by yourself, you need to have some peace over your particular mind and mentality. And fourth one, right conduct. So ethical way, ethical actions will always lead you in ethical way. Unethical practices will always lead you in a very dangerous situation. So don't think always unethically, please think ethically. So these are the four values and 5 values which has been given for the core value of our human values and characteristics of our values. So a universal thing, everyone is going to accept by that rule. So even though war is going on, we are just thinking why the people are going like this. So many issues are happening. We are thinking by day to day. So you by the universe itself, you are accepting some worldwide conflicts. That is second one, permanent and stable. Your mind has to be permanent, and you have to take some stable decisions for yourself. And third one, influence behavior. You are not supposed to influence some person. No, this is not right, this is wrong. You are not supposed to influence some behavior. So you have to generate always a positive and a professional note towards the friends or family like that. So you have to be very ethical, and you have to be very moral, and also you are going to be, should not influence your behavior, and learn through experience. So all the values you are learning is not by teaching or something like that. You would be learning as by your life, you will be learning from your childhood days. That values will be turning out to you either to be in a positive way or a negative way. But try to be a positive person. So importance of human value. It will be creating your strong character, and emotional stability would be there, and a conflict resolution. So some problem your friend is telling you, and you would be having some generating some solution to them. That is also a good quality that you are going to possess. And positive relationship. If any person is stopping you by not being very good, not telling you a right path, your mind and your heart will be saying that you are not supposed to do that. So you have to have some such positive relationship where they are boosting you, they are giving you a confidence through their positive things. So value conflict. So some situation where you are going to select either, always will be saying right. So heart and mind will say something or different in a vice versa way. So heart will say a wrong way, and the mind will say a right way. By the time the vice versa will also happen. Heart will say a right thing, and mind will say a wrong thing. So it is not that like that. So now we are given with the two examples where the trust and loyalty, where we are going to choose only the loyalty. You are going to trust someone, even though the being loyal is very, very important. And profit versus ethical. Very important thing is, if some shopkeepers are giving you a product which is already expired, that is not ethical. Right? So even if they are going to think in a positive or profit way, you have to think very ethically. So you have to return back, or not in a harsh way, but you can tell that sorry, it is not going to happen. I am not going to purchase the product. Or else like you have to be very positive enough to just tell your suggestions. And social values, responsibilities. So first one is equality. So every people in this world are equal by the mind and heart. So how you are treating everyone is very, very important. First one is equality. Second one is justice. As I told you earlier, the accident incident. So even though it is happening, many people are helping them. So that is the justice. We have to be very enough to just being an affidavit, or a person who is going to help a particular person. Anything can happen. That is justice. Cooperation, working together. If you are going to give in with that work, but it is a group work. So you have to get into that group, and you have to give some solutions and give some ideas towards that particular person. It is not that you are not supposed to work together. It is where the cooperation starts. Even from the college, even from the school, you are having a group project. You have to take up some responsibility from that group. It is not that one single person have to do that particular work. And respect, which I already told. Accepting others. You have to accept others' thought at least a small way. It is not that you will be always right, they will be always wrong. It can be a vice versa. So think about it, think twice, talk to many people so that this will be increasing. And responsibility of an individual. So now we'll see where the responsibility of the role or family, everything we are going to see. So what is the responsibility of an individual? Follow laws and rules. So you are not wearing your helmet, that is you are breaking the rule. So you are not supposed to do that. It is not for themselves to just collect the fines and all. It is because of your safety. You have to do that. You are not supposed to break that particular rule. And second one, respect others' rights. If they are going to have some right over particular purchasing of the product, they can have that. So it is not that you are not supposed to tell them, no, you shall not purchase that. That is not a proper right. And then third one, protect environment you have to protect environment. By the way, you're not, we'll be seeing the sterilite issue and all. So it is being polluting some people's life itself. So that is where the protecting environment has gone wrong. So that is why we have closed the sterilite thing and all. So some contribution towards the society must be there. For example, CSR activity, corporate social responsibility. Every company should give some part of the amount to that particular society. And role of the family. So first institution of learning, and teaches discipline, respect, love, and shapes personality. So role of an education institution: impart moral education, conduct awareness programs, and develop leadership quality. So role of the society, what is the role? You have to follow some cultural and traditional activities, some promotion of an ethical standards, and encourages social harmony. And professional ethics, you have to have some professional ethics, which I've already told: integrity, being honest, and accountability, taking some responsibility and telling them whether they have finished the work or not, whether you have completed your task or not, everything you have to see. Transparency, openness, you have to openly talk about something which has been happened in a particular institution or wherever you go. And confidentiality, some things has to be confidentially maintained. It has to be maintained like that. It is not, should not be openly or transparently, you should not share to that other person. And importance of corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility builds trust, improves reputation, and prevents corruption, and ensures long-term success. And business responsibility towards the society, which I have already told. Some part of amount has to be given to the particular society. So environmental protection, everything was there. Ethical issues in business, you will be already knowing that: fraud, bribe, and exploitation, unfair trade practices. So company polluting river, that is an unethical practice. You are not supposed to do that. Some of the examples are there. If you think about this topic, you will be having more examples. So self-development, understanding oneself, and building confidence. You have to build some confidence enough to have self-development. And you have to talk about something, you have to straight away come, you have to talk, or else it will be closed. No one can see about what is the struggle you have faced. So developing positive attitude. So as I told you earlier, every people have to be in a positive way. And discipline and time. As I told you earlier, punctuality is very important thing, and planning daily activities is also a kind of time management. Achieving goals effectively will be possible with the help of the daily routine that you are going to follow, what you have calculated. And managing stress and emotion, that is being put upon you only because of the pressure and competition. You can solve that. The solution is meditation, exercise, and how much ever you are positive thinking, the universe will help you for the positive note. Importance in life: lead to success and happiness, improves relationships, and create balanced personality. So as I conclude this, so value education is an essential for personal growth, ethical society, and national development. So value are the foundation of a meaningful life. So follow that. When wealth is lost, something is lost. When health is lost, anything is lost. When character is lost, everything is lost. So maintain that. Thank you.